Good morning, dear students. Welcome to your Google Classroom. Today we are doing a lesson from literary criticism, and we will be discussing William Wordsworth and his preface to the lyrical ballads. We had already discussed lyrical ballads in the classroom, but even then, right from the beginning, I am going to discuss once again. Regarding the writer William Wordsworth, he is very much familiar to you as a poet, isn't it? He is such a great man who marked the beginning of the Romantic movement in English literature. And he doesn't need any formal introduction. But we will discuss something regarding his personal life and about the publication of the lyrical ballads. What led the poet to publish? What is the reason for the poet to publish lyrical ballads in collaboration with his friend Samuel Taylor Coleridge? We will be discussing it first. And so I told you, neoclassical period was roughly between 1660 and 1798. 1798, what is so special about 1798? 1798 marks the beginning of the Romantic revival, the Romantic period. It was the year in which lyrical ballads was published. Lyrical ballads is the combined work of Wordsworth and Coleridge. And it was a reaction to the neoclassical poetry in every way, in content, in language, in style of presentation, and so on. And we will be discussing the points one by one. Before that, this William Wordsworth, his time span is from 1770 to 1850. He was one of the most famous of all nature poets. And he set off the Romantic revolt in English with the publication of lyrical ballads in collaboration with Coleridge in 1798. This is something that you already know. And coming to some biographical details later. William Wordsworth was born in 1770 in a little town in the Lake District in the northwest of England. In 1787, he entered Cambridge, and while still a university student, he went on a 3-month walking tour of France, the Swiss Alps and Italy, and was greatly impressed by the beauty of the landscape. He was a man who had excessive love for nature. He himself had admitted that nature is his mother, teacher, friend, philosopher, and everything. And when he finished his degree, he returned to France and became a passionate supporter of the democratic ideals of the French Revolution. In 1794, he went to live with his sister Dorothy in a small village in Dorset. In the same year, he met Samuel Taylor Coleridge, a poet with similar radical political and literary views. This friendship had a lasting impact on both poets. William Wordsworth and Coleridge, they discussed political issues, read, wrote, exchanged theories on poetry, and commented on each other's work. And so there was such a thick relationship between Wordsworth and Coleridge. And in this period of intense creativity, They produced the lyrical ballads. Actually, it's a collection of poems by Wordsworth and Coleridge together. The second edition contained Wordsworth's famous preface. The second edition was published in the year 1800, and there he had attached the preface, and we are going to study about this preface. Preface means an introduction, and usually you see very short prefaces when you read books. Okay, but this preface is pretty long, and you will understand the reason. Because here Wordsworth has to explain his poetic theory. He has to define poet. He has to define what is poetry, what is the function of a poet, and so on. And so the preface is pretty long, and we will discuss it in detail. And so the second edition contained Wordsworth's famous preface, which we are going to study now, and it became the manifesto of English Romanticism. Actually, the preface to the second edition of Lyrical Ballads contain Wordsworth's philosophy of poetry. And so, here you will understand Wordsworth's views on poetry. He argues that poetry should be written in the natural language of common speech. The themes of his poetry are inspired by humble and rustic life. And so, this is the main point that he discusses in the preface. He feels that poetry should be written in the ordinary language of men and women. And he says that the language, rustic language, is more reliable and more true to life. And so he says that poetry should be written in the natural language of common speech, and he means the rustic speech. Wordsworth's preface with an appendix on poetic diction, it is universally acclaimed as a manifesto of romantic criticism. And see, he had written a preface, and later he attached an appendix. It is about poetic diction. Actually, it is a reaction to neoclassical poetry. And so neoclassical writers, they were excellent writers, but they wrote in a very difficult language. And they were scholars, and their writings were meant for the scholars. We know that in every society, scholars form only a minority. And Wordsworth and his friends were very particular that our poetry should be read and appreciated by the common man. And so everybody who can handle the language should understand the poems. And so the poems in the lyrical ballads are written in a simple language. And he says that it is the language of the common man. And he says that our village people are more close to nature. They are innocent. No artificiality is there in their speech. And they are more true to life. And so their language is selected as the language of poetry. He says that there is no meaning in attaching embellishments to language. Because during the neoclassical period, the writers thought that poetry should be written in a high-flown language, in a very, very dignified language. And they used all types of ornamentation to make the poetry more appealing, thereby making the poem more difficult for the ordinary man to understand and appreciate. And so Wordsworth talks against this poetic diction in the appendix. And then again coming back to the same points. See, we will discuss the points in detail, but in the beginning we will mention the main points that are discussed in the preface to the lyrical ballads. Okay. And so the principal object of lyrical ballads is to illustrate how good poetry can be written on common incidents in the lives of ordinary human beings in simple, natural language. And so, what is the main object of lyrical ballads? It is to illustrate how good poetry can be written on common incidents in the lives of ordinary human beings in simple, natural language. And so, Wordsworth and Coleridge, through their poems in the lyrical ballads, they proved that a poet can write on any topic under the sky. And he can write about common incidents. We needn't have to go for the extraordinary incidents to write a poem. A good poet, a talented poet, can write about the common incidents that happens in the life of ordinary people. And that is why even Wordsworth says that even the meanest flower can arouse volumes of poetry in me. And so that is it. And so common incidents are enough. A poet needn't have to wait for extraordinary incidents to write a poem. Common incidents in the lives of ordinary people. It is enough. And they should be expressed in a simple, natural language. And Wordsworth has given some definitions on poetry. Actually, 2 definitions are given. Both of them are very important. First of all, he says that a good poem can be written on the common incidents in the lives of ordinary people, and that too, they should be written in a very simple, natural language.